All right, let's get right into your emails for the week. If you want to send something in, comment, question, trolling, critique, whatever, use the email address info@davidpakman.com or click on the contact button at davidpakman.com. Either way, it'll all go to the same place. Let's go through and see what is on the minds of the people. That is ultimately what matters. I heard from Kay, who says, "Hi, David. It's been interesting seeing how many, for lack of a better word, crazies we have living among us in the U.S. and Australia. The only thing I want out of this when things finally settle is an agreement from the right that if you can argue that no one can tell you what to do with your body, then at a minimum, we should all agree that no one can tell a pregnant person whether or not they carry a pregnancy to term. I don't agree that a fetus is a person, but if we ignore that position, no one can argue against abortion that you're taking a life, because your failure to take a vaccine or wear a mask puts the rest of us fully viable and already living people at risk. But I suspect consistency is something right-wingers aren't really bound by. Keep up the good work. Appreciated you having guest hosts rather than no show. Helps that I already follow Jesse and Farron." Yeah, I mean, listen, Kay, without saying this is the only way to present the hypocrisy we are seeing from the anti-choice right, with the my body, my choice stuff during the pandemic, it is an incredible hypocrisy. And I want to remind people of something I've been saying for a long time. Their stated principles are not sincerely held in many cases. It's just the talking point that they believe gets them to the political outcome they want most readily. And when the talking point no longer works or doesn't apply all of a sudden, then they abandon it completely. They are transparently dishonest in that way. Let's continue. Next message is from Matt. This is just horrifying. Matt wrote in, "Hi, David. My mom is a medical doctor in North Dakota. She told me today that she had a patient who claims that a different medical provider, a nurse, told them that the COVID-19 vaccine causes an increase in, quote, non-food cravings for things like cigarettes, alcohol, etc. And literally in the nurse's notes for that patient that my mom was reading, the nurse wrote down exactly that. She advised the patient against the vaccine because the patient was trying to quit smoking. Obviously, this is more anti-vax BS, but neither my mom nor I had heard of this one before. So I figured it might be interesting to let you know." Thanks, Matt. Yeah, there's a sort of like the calls are coming from inside the house type of nuttery going on. And to hear that there are medical providers that are opting against getting vaccinated where it's allowed, that's extraordinarily distressing and disturbing. And then to hear something like, I don't think the vaccine is right for you because you want to quit smoking and the vaccine will make you crave cigarettes. So that's a new reason that they've come up with not to get vaccinated. Horrifying stuff. And as crazy as any of these things sound to you or me, remember that there are people for whom this sounds reasonable. And that is maybe the most horrifying part of it all. Email from Angie. Angie wrote to me, "Mr. Pakman," of course, spelling my last name wrong. Very common that people who write in to suggest conspiracy videos don't spell my name correctly. "Mr. Pakman, take a look at this YouTube video. I believe that you will see things differently." This is a video from Dr. Christina Parks that's been floating around. I don't even know if Dr. Parks is a medical doctor. This is another hypocrisy with the right. They love to play coy with, how does Jill Biden get to be called Dr. Biden if her doctorate is in education? And then all of a sudden, they have people commenting on vaccines like that person last week we highlighted who has a PhD in like organizational systems commenting about FDA approval process. Anyway, the Christina Parks video has been floating around. It is not credible. It's been debunked. It is not something I would be paying attention to. Let's just put it there. And I did see the video. It makes me see things differently in that I'm realizing there are people who are even more gullible than I previously believed. That's what I learned from watching this video and reading the comments. Next email is from Deanna. Deanna wrote, "Can you do a segment of how many people got COVID at Obama's birthday? How many had COVID at the party and made it a super spreader? Just thought that it would be great for those people to know the answer. People are asking me, hey, what about Obama? As far as I know, the Obama birthday was not a super spreader event. I, however, don't think there's anything special about Barack Obama. I said I went to a birthday party a couple weeks ago. 12 people went. Vaccination was required and a test at the door was required. My friend got tests and everybody was tested on the way in. It felt safe. It felt responsible. When I asked Dr. Racaniello about it last week, he said, even if someone was incubating, you probably have 24 hours of not being contagious, assuming you got a negative test. I don't know if everybody at Obama's birthday was tested. We've not heard of it as a super spreader event. It doesn't mean there might not have been cringy videos released. That's a totally different story. But I don't believe the rules should be different for Democrats or Republicans. If you've been watching this show long enough, you would certainly know that. Okay, let's go next to Michael's email. I find this one interesting. Michael wrote to me about the voicemail segment. And Michael said, David, I would first like to say I enjoy the show. I find your temperament soothing on my drive home from work. You're funnier than people give you credit for. But if you let that go to your head, you will ruin it. Choose wisely. To the point, sir, I noticed you seem to have stopped finding the humor in these ludicrous voicemails you play. You look drained while they play. If you don't enjoy it, don't do it. Got to take care of yourself first, sir. Either way, love the content. Be well. No, I mean, I sort of play up. The truth is, Michael, this is actually sadder. I'm kind of so desensitized by the completely out of this world wacky stuff that comes into the voicemail line and the email line that I really don't have nearly the reaction to it that I should. Like, I should be depressed. I should be drained by the voicemails and emails that I'm getting from people. But for some reason, I'm not. And I think it's that I've become desensitized. So I think I just kind of play up, when I'm listening to those voicemails. But it's not about enjoying it or not enjoying it or whatever the case may be. But let me tell you, Michael, I really do appreciate the concern. That is a really important thing. I love that you're concerned about me, but all is fine. If at some point I don't want to play the voicemails, it's as simple as saying no more voicemails and I will make the decision. Because ultimately I am the decider on the show. Okay, last one here. We're including a hate mail. I'm including the full name of this person because it's not their real name. They write to me under a pseudonym, John Smith. And this individual wrote to me and said, dude, you're a hack. Biden left 85 billion military equipment left behind, including night vision, recognition technology, which has all Afghans who helped American. I'm reading it with the grammar that it came in. 13 additional U.S. military casualties. This was the most one single event. F up by any American president in the history of the world. Make that the dumbest effing thing ever done by a world leader in the history of the world. That was one sentence. Continuing, you support this? Then you're an effing idiot. You can only hide ignorance for so long. Biden, already an idiot, took the worst job an idiot can take. Now this idiot is on display for the world to see. I'm having trouble following who the idiots are. What a proud day for capital L liberals. Maybe 85 billion was worth getting rid of basically Lib Dems, Biden, all members of the squad. Thank you all. Will America make it to the 2022 elections? China, Iran, and Russia are getting ready to take the lead in world power. So there's geopolitical confusion here. Iran is not in the running here to be world superpower at this point in time. Could be in the future, but not right now. The question of Joe Biden leaving Afghanistan is one to which I have an emphatic and definitive answer. We had no business being there, and I'm thrilled that Joe Biden got us out. The arc here is George W. Bush got us in. We stayed for 20 years. Obama didn't get us out. Trump didn't get us out. Biden got us out. Were there tactical elements that could have been better handled? Yes. But there would have been tactical elements that could have been better handled if Trump did it as well. And when Trump was actually asked to articulate with Stuart Varney last week on Fox Business, what exactly would you have done differently? What do you make of the specific criticisms? Trump ranted about who knows what. He had no actual answer. So I am very happy that Biden got us out. 85 billion is very little relative to what's been spent. And it is right for us to be out. It was, the scrutiny that is being applied to getting out over the last month was never applied to 20 years in Afghanistan. So, John Smith or whoever, be mad at me if you want, but maybe spend a little more time on syntax and grammar than making foreign policy criticisms that you seem to not fully understand. All right, my friend. If you have an email, if you want to be featured in the Friday emails, write to info@davidpakman.com. I look forward to hearing from you, but be polite. Be polite, guys. Don't be like John. We've got a great bonus show for you today. Sign up at joinpakman.com. Get yourself instant access. Plus, when you're a member, you're supporting the show, and that's a beautiful thing. We'll see you then.